Everton sale stalls amid questions about buyers' financials. FC Barcelona president Joan Laporta charged with bribery in the Negreira case as prosecutors extend investigation into alleged referee payments back to 2008. MLS introduces league credit card powered by Avant.
CONCACAF confirms the pairings of 23/24 CONCACAF Nations League quarterfinals. Mumbai Indians parts ways with bowling coach Shane Bond. U.S. cricket team will play in 2028 LA Olympics. In Australia, in September 2023, unemployment rate remained at 3.6%. Almost 800,000 people in the Canary Islands are at risk of poverty, 36.2% of the population. Madrid, Spain's EUSO will deduct 20% on financial assets or homes for foreign investors who settle in Madrid. In Argentina, Patricia Bullrich anticipated that she will promote a law so that those who do not reside in Argentina pay for care in the public health system. In India, Congress Party manifesto for Madhya Pradesh RR's 25 lakh health cover, OBC quota, an IPL team.
France triples shells production for Ukraine. Russia is reportedly recruiting Serbian fighters. United States provided Ukraine around 20 ATACMS missiles. Ethereum DeFi protocol Hopeland drained after exploit. Chain analysis says crypto usage for terror financing is tiny fraction of overall volume. Scotiabank cutting 3% of global workforce. Ottawa asks banks to cut fees to help borrowers struggling with higher mortgage costs. Quebec's Common Front of Public Sector Unions votes 95% in favor of strike. In Italy, FS Group Railways privatization plan gets negative opinion from the unions. Unifor planning to unionize GM's Ultium Camp plant in Quebec. McGill University shelves $50 million French program after Quebec out-of-province tuition hike. In Australia, private schools face tighter rules on using $1.5 billion in public funds. Grouping English learners in classrooms yields no benefit in reading development, new study finds.
Trudeau says Alberta's Canada Pension Plan exit would cause undeniable harm. Canada Pension Plan Board says Alberta pension exit consults are biased, manipulative. American work-from-home rates dropped to lowest since the pandemic. Workers with in-person jobs spend about $51 a day that they wouldn't remotely, survey finds.
In Australia, a rise of anti-Semitism and Islamophobia had been remarked Gaza this, Hamas that. Trudeau says Canada faces scary rise in anti-Semitism after war in Middle East. Historic synagogue in Tunisia heavily damaged in rioting tied to Israel-Hamas war. Berlin synagogue attacked with firebombs as anti-Semitic incidents rise in Germany. In France, Lille, Bordeaux, Toulouse are among 14 airports, which are evacuated after bomb threats or suspicious packages.
The Late Show pulled until next week as Stephen Colbert continues to recover from COVID. Doctors axed after 23 years by the BBC. Chris Hadfield and Sylvester Stallone to bring the Apollo Murders novel to the screen. Good Morning America to leave Times Square studio. Black Mirror creator Charlie Brooker is unafraid of AI because it's boring and not messy enough to replace creative people. Marvel wants to make more shows like Loki. The Suits Effect. Netflix looks out for more licensed shows following success of USA Network legal drama on streamer. Survivor streaming viewership skyrockets 83% from last year. Amazing Race up 32% as shows shift to 90 minutes format.
Britney Spears says Father Jamie repeatedly told her she looked fat, infantilized her in conservatorship. Gwyneth Paltrow doesn't like the Nepo baby term, calls it an ugly moniker. Burt Young, Oscar-nominated actor, who played Paulie in Rocky films, dies at 83.
George Clooney, Scarlett Johansson, Tyler Perry, and other restless A-list actors pressure SAG-AFTRA to get a deal. Netflix's Ted Sarandos defends not disclosing streaming numbers. Creators felt trapped by ratings, box office. Netflix hikes prices for basic and premium plans, its premium plan to $23 a month. Daniel Radcliffe denies gaining muscle because of Wolverine casting. I got buff because I am obsessive. No Wolverine. Alicia Keys says paragliding Instagram post was not reference to Hamas terrorists. Fast and Furious star Sung Kang to direct initial D movie. Fetterman calls rush to blame Israel for hospital blast disturbing. Tlaib refuses to apologize for blaming Israel for Gaza hospital blast, attacks Biden. For 6 hours the world blamed Israel unfairly, U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer says on Gaza hospital blast. Court employee arrested after trying to approach Trump at NYC civil fraud trial. Trump's SPAC now says its 2021 financial statements should no longer be relied upon. Biden campaign surpasses Trump campaign in followers on Truth Social in 2 days. Putin says U.S. wading deeper into Ukraine war, calls missile supplies a mistake, dismisses importance of U.S. supplied weapons to Ukraine. Russian foreign minister meets Korean leader Kim, vows support for Pyongyang. Putin filmed in China accompanied by officers with Russian nuclear briefcase.
Iran-backed Iraqi militia says, drone struck U.S. base in Erbil. U.S. says, thwarts drone attack on its troops in Iraq. Saudi Arabia calls on citizens to immediately leave Lebanon. Brazil will bring Argentines, Uruguayans, Paraguayans and Bolivians from Israel.
In Ireland, DUP's Sammy Wilson says Irish government in the past have acted like Hamas, no wonder they are anti-Israeli now. Evidence shows Hamas militants likely used some North Korean weapons in attack on Israel. In Canada, conservatives call return of Canadian woman with ISIS ties unacceptable. French court states that pro-Palestinian protests should be banned case by case. Foreign visitors to Japan hit 96% of pre-COVID level in September. Japan to OK train fare hikes for holidays, weekends due to over-tourism concerns. Snow across the northern hemisphere will get wider, study says. As snow banks are set to get wider, it may offset climate change's effects. Colombia and Mali leading efforts to improve air quality, new ranking finds. British and Irish Super League plan discussed for rugby, and could include South Africa and Italy. Warren Gatland commits to coach Wales to 2027 Rugby World Cup and excited for future. Ukraine's Zelensky and South Africa's Ramaphosa had lengthy and fruitful call. Nuclear-powered cargo ship is a suspect in Baltic pipeline breach, as Finnish police point out interesting Russian ship, which traveled over destroyed Swedish cable. Turkey to allocate 150% more to defense budget in 2024, says minister. NATO shows its support for Israel but asks to respond in Gaza in a proportionate manner. Total siege of Gaza not in line with international law, says Charles Michel. Sunak follows Biden to Israel to show support as bombs hit Gaza. Netflix subscribers swell to record 247 million as stock soars, adds nearly 9 million subscribers in Q3, ad-supported plans up nearly 70% from Q2. Netflix plans substantial changes to executive pay after shareholders rejected CEO pay packages. ASML shares fall as Europe's biggest tech company predicts flat sales in 2024 after 71% order drop. Costco CEO Craig Jelinek to step down at January 1st. COO Ron Vacris will take over. Texas installing concertina wire along New Mexico border. South Africa likely to keep a go status because U.S. companies are benefiting, Envoy says. Californian gang pled guilty, and $600 million nationwide catalytic converter theft scheme. In South Africa, Vodacom is in trouble for failing to cancel contracts, selling non-existing data bundles. Japanese city to pioneer car charging at traffic lights. The surprising group of Republicans preventing Jim Jordan from becoming House Speaker, as Jim Jordan rejected as House Speaker for second time in 24 hours, and Jim Jordan loses more votes in second round of voting for House Speaker. Wife of NC Congressman Don Bacon receives anonymous text messages, warning her husband to back Jim Jordan as Speaker, or he will not hold any political office ever again. FDA considers issuing proposed rule to ban formaldehyde in hair straightening products. Pfizer set to price the COVID drug Paxlovid at $1,390 per course. PG doctor in India's Tamil Nadu, who died by suicide, was working over 20 hours a day, say friends. Tesla tempers growth expectations as Musk sees storm ahead. Tesla Cybertruck deliveries to start November 30th, initial production capacity at 125,000 units. Elon Musk says we dug our own grave with Cybertruck, offers new delivery date. Tesla CEO Elon Musk sounds pessimistic note about economy on earnings call. Young driver fatality rates have fallen sharply in the U.S., helped by education, technology.
Intelligence chiefs of Five Eyes warn, China's IP theft program now at unprecedented levels. India uses widespread internet blackouts to mask domestic turmoil. Finland faces growing Russian online threat, Finnish security services say.
Hacker leaks millions more 23andMe user records on cybercrime forum. Over 40K admin portal accounts use admin as a password. U.S. lawmaker seeks answers from Meta, X, Google, TikTok over Israel-Hamas false content. TikTok executives insist China can't access user data during meeting with Canada's MPs. U.S. announces seizure of 17 website domains used by U.S. firms, which hired North Korean IT workers posing as Americans.
Archaeologists have found direct evidence that seaweeds and submerged aquatic and freshwater plants were eaten in the Mesolithic, through the Neolithic transition to farming and into the early Middle Ages, suggesting that these resources, now rarely eaten in Europe, only became marginal much more recently.
Stonehenge's altar stone is not Welsh, Aberystwyth University says. Rates of substance use-related ODRs, office discipline referrals in middle schools increased by 0.14 per 100 students, 30% of the mean, with legalization relative to comparison schools. Researchers from the University of Tsukuba found, for the first time, that non-alcoholic beverage intake significantly reduced alcohol consumption, and this reduction persisted 8 weeks after discontinuing non-alcoholic beverage consumption. Mindfulness approaches show potential in retraining addiction-related brain dysfunction. Slay the Spire developer releases free game Jam Deck Builder after ditching Unity. Super Mario Bros. Wonder lands 90+ Metacritic score, with first reviews. Famitsu awards Super Mario Wonder 36/40 and Spider-Man 2 38/40. Roller Coaster Tycoon Adventures Deluxe sets November 1st release date. Biden-Harris administration announces $3.5 billion for largest ever investment in America's electric grid, deploying more clean energy, lowering costs, and creating union jobs. Xcel's North America completes Dalton factory expansion to double production in Georgia, create 2,500 new jobs in $2.5 billion investment. Study predicts potential for 110% electricity increases in U.S. urban buildings. In Mexico, for the reform to reduce the working day from 48 to 40 hours per week, 1-year period has been proposed for companies to prepare for the new working day. Pension funds resist UK government push to invest £50 billion in growth projects. Japan moves to let foreign trainees change jobs after 1 year. In Italy, new early pension ages at 63, but with more stringent requirements.
Global smartphone market declines 1% in Q3 2023 as major players on path to recovery. Foldable iPad are in intensive development. Themis production to begin in 2H24 at the earliest. Top Apple analyst says MacBook demand has fallen significantly. Leaks confirm low numbers for Microsoft's latest OS, Windows 11. Ford recalling 35,000 U.S. Mach-EVs over power loss reports. Tesla's price cuts eat into Cybertruck makers' profits, as net income plunges 44% in the third quarter. New BMW 5 Series sedan and the first BMW i5 been introduced. BMW 5 Series Touring available from spring 2024. Emerging markets under heavy pressure as conflict escalates. Mexican peso falls strongly due to conflict between Israel and Hamas. Fitch places Israel on rating watch negative as Gaza war rages. Malaysian ringgit falls to 25-year low, the worst performer in Asia, after yen in 2023.
Germicidal UV lights could be producing indoor air pollutants, study finds. Atmospheric microplastic transport predominantly derived from oceans, study finds. Lead pollution from small planes threatens human health, EPA finds. Fleet data shows that EV tires are lasting 6,350 miles fewer than petrol or diesel. Facial recognition firm Clearview AI successfully appeals $9 million fine in the UK. OpenAI updates ChatGPT with Bing and DALL-E 3 integrations, as ChatGPT can now respond with images and search the web. Convicted Fugees rapper Pras Michelle's lawyer used AI to draft bungled closing argument.
Britney Spears' memoir reaches bestseller status a week before it hits shelves. J.K. Rowling, I'll happily go to prison rather than call trans women women. Cornel West draws the max donation, from GOP Megadoner Harlan Crow.
Digital film cartridge for analog cameras, the I'm Back film, has been introduced. SanDisk launches huge 1.5 terabytes micro SD card for $149. Android users in Arizona, Colorado and Georgia can now add state IDs to Google Wallet.
Hura Himper, gang leader who smuggled up to 10,000 migrants across Channel, into the UK, has been jailed. Brussels attacker arrived in Italy's Lampedusa in 2011. The U.S. sanctions 10 Hamas members and its financial network over the surprise Israel attack.
Britons have started handing in Excel bullies to be put down, MPs told. In Spain, more than 400 animals rescued from illegal trading network. British cat's 54.59 decibel burr breaks world record. Ants found tangled up in plastic pollution for the first time.
Karim Benzema plans to file a complaint against Darmanin, who accuses him of being linked to the Muslim Brotherhood. The immigration law will contain a provision allowing a foreigner to be expelled without having committed a criminal offense, according to Olivier Véran. French Interior Minister Darmanin affirms that hatred of the Jew and hatred of the police comes together.
NFL considers eliminating hip drop tackles, will review the tush push again after the season. Neymar left on crutches and wearing huge protective cast after suffering horror injury during Brazil's 2026 World Cup qualifying loss to Uruguay. Neymar to undergo surgery on torn ACL.
471 Palestinians killed in Gaza hospital bombing, announced by Palestine's ministry. U.S. experts say evidence suggests Palestinian militants rocket hit Gaza hospital. Germany's Scholz demands probe into Gaza hospital strike. At least 6 people killed in Israeli airstrike on UN's UNRWA school in Gaza. British PM Sunak on Gaza hospital blast reporting, Hamas should be distrusted like the Kremlin. Biden warns Israel not to repeat mistakes of U.S. response after 9/11.
U.S. vetoes UN resolution condemning all violence against civilians in Israel-Hamas war and for humanitarian pause and corridors into Gaza. Biden backs Israel over Gaza hospital blast and forges humanitarian aid deal. Jewish activists arrested at U.S. Congress sit-in, calling for Gaza ceasefire. Most Canadians think lasting peace between Israel and Palestinians is not possible. Poll.
It had been announced that the U.S. consulate in Adana, Turkey will remain closed to the public until further notice, as large demonstrations related to events in Israel and Gaza are expected throughout Turkey for the next several weeks. Israel to allow entry of humanitarian aid to Gaza from Egypt after U.S. pressure. Dutch to provide additional aid to Gaza this year.